You are now listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Podcast.
Welcome to Ride With Me, episode 75. Today is March 30, 2022. And like always, Ricky, since he's my co-host for now.
What's up, everyone?
What's going on, Rick?
Oh, man, just hanging in there. Been a little busy at work, so been pretty exhausting lately.
I heard you've been doing some long hours.
Yeah, we had a pretty crazy incident last night. So what was a 12-hour shift ended up being a 19-and-a-half-hour shift. But still here, ready.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, I bet with short-handed and crime going up, you guys are working a lot more hours now, huh?
A little bit.
So freaking, I had Betty with me on a bike ride a couple weekends ago, and she was telling me that you guys are working long hours.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, a lot of stuff is going on. So, it kind of just prolongs when we're supposed to be done with our shift. You either got a couple more radio calls, reports, arrests, stuff like that. So it kind of trickles more than usual.
So I was kind of excited to record this podcast episode. I don't normally get into day-to-day events or politics or, religion and shit like that. But when are you going to go bust Will Smith?
Nah, man. It's like how I said in our group chat. We have a family group chat with like all the in-laws and stuff, and it was just a misdemeanor crime just because it was seen as inappropriate, insensitive, or seen by millions of people. Doesn't make it a higher crime. At the end of the day, it's a misdemeanor. It's a misdemeanor battery. That's why. Just because of that reason, LAPD probably did approach Chris Rock, according to the news, and probably just asked him, "Hey man, like, do you want to file a report, towards Will Smith?" According to the news outlets, he said no, but I mean, that's just all it is, It's just a little misdemeanor crime.
Like I said, I don't get into the daily events and social media bullshit about today. What's it called? What local events? What's it called? Feature events, like whatever it's called, like whatever the word is for what's going on in the world of entertainment.
Oh, like the current events.
I don't get into current events when it comes to like Hollywood and shit like that, but this incident on Sunday kind of brought up some flashbacks, some memories, some conversations that you had on the that group chat as well. So Chris Rock makes fun of Will Smith's wife,
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah, I mean,
it was a pretty insensitive joke, though.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I mean, have you seen? Do you understand like the reference between it?
Well, the G.I. Jane is the movie that Bruce Willis's wife made back in the days where she was in the army and shaved her head bald.
Yeah.
So he made a reference of when's part 2 coming out. Because she's bald herself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've never seen the movie, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's an old classic movie.
Yeah, it is. It's a good movie too. But so the only part that's insensitive is she didn't really have a choice. How like a lot of women right now are shaving their head and stuff like that. That's not necessarily her choice right now.
Exactly. She has
a hair condition or a scalp condition, whatever it may be, where she loses hair and she gets patches of baldness. So to try to combat that, she just kind of shaves so that it looks a little bit more unison.
Yeah. So which is like what people do when they have cancer.
Yeah, exactly.
Start shaving their heads.
Yeah. So with that being said, that's why I was trying to I was educating some of like Betty and like the other family members. She has this podcast, or I'm not really sure what it is, but it's like a talk show. It's like a mini talk show, but it's big on like Facebook or YouTube. I forget which platform. It's called like Red Table or Round Talk, something like that. And she's brought this up before. That's the only reason why I even knew about it to begin with, because there'll be like little episodes on Facebook where she talks about the condition she has and how she's very insecure about it, but she tries to talk about it to kind of overcome that insecurity and for her to be powerful with it, like to embrace it. But she's like, but I'm very insecure about it because I've always had nice hair and everything. So that's like her struggle, I guess.
If you were in Will's shoes, how would you handle that?
Now, public setting like that, not gonna lie, probably not. Take the L. It's a public setting, and you don't want to have that perception you know. But if it's a buddy of mine, like if you said that to, you know, to Bethy, and knowing that, hey, she has this insecurity about it, and you purposely, like, you know, attacked, like, oh no, I just forgot. No, like, you were setting up the joke and everything for it, and you said it where it kind of came out of left field, where it's not like she came at you and then you made a comment, where you kind of just like brought it up out of nowhere, and I looked over and I see the hurt and pain, you know, and I'd be upset, you know. And I mean, I'm one that kind of is based off emotion. I'm a very emotional person. I wish I could say I'd probably just take you to the side, but, you know, and I probably would, because you're Andy and I have more patience with you. But it'd be hard not to, like, be like, hey, you hurt this person that I care most about, you know. So
well, this is why what happened on Sunday at the Oscars with Will made me try to record a podcast, because it's funny in the scenario that we just had a conversation with an individual about a year ago about the things you say to someone else. To you, you might think they're a joke, but when you see that person's hurt, you see them sad, you see them that joke hurt them, you as a husband, how are you supposed to address it? So it's like you said on the group chat, and it's like, and I told this individual, it's like, if the joke hurts any member of my family, I'm going to address it. I'm going to let you know that shit needs to be knocked the fuck off. Knock it the hell off. Or, you know, like I said, this table is not going to stop me from beating your ass.
Yeah.
Because the joke is insensitive, especially if the individual that's being made fun of doesn't take it as a joke.
Yeah.
And takes it hurtful.
Yeah.
You know, maybe to your face, ha 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 ha, but behind closed doors, they're hurting. That's when I have a problem.
Yeah.
Just what you said, same thing.
Yeah, and like I said, as long as that person on the other side is making the joke is aware that, hey, that person, you know, because for instance, it's like with anything. If I make a joke about you, about something, and I don't know that, hey, man, behind closed doors, you know, you're hurting because you're not telling me. I don't know. To me, oh, this, you know, Andy's, you know, Andy can take it. Andy's strong, you know, but little do I know it actually is hurting inside. I wish someone would tell me that, so I know, hey, you know what, there are lines and boundaries to not cross, so I know where it stops. You know what I mean? And that's why I say, if the person knows that this person, because I mean, again, they make it either publicly known, or this person just knows about, hey, this person is insecure about this certain thing, and it's kind of like and it puts a big effect on her. That's when I'm like, well, those are lines you don't cross. I don't care if you're like, oh, it's just a joke. All right, well, guess what? If you know that it's potentially hurtful in a negative way, not just in a joking way, you just, in my opinion, at least for my morals, you don't make those jokes.
No, you're right. I there's an event that kind of bit me in the ass a while back, last March actually. Went to go visit my brothers. My mom wasn't home, and brothers were being brothers, and we were all joking around, throwing stabs at each other, whatnot. And so I made a joke when my brother threw a joke at me, and I responded back with, at least I don't live at mommy's house, as a joke, dude.
Yeah.
As a joke. I didn't know that joke was going to get back to my mother, and she took it hurtful. Like, what was I trying to say by that? But it was a joke. But it was a joke between me and my brother. My brother should have been the one to get hurt, you know, not my mother.
Yeah.
But obviously, okay, cool. Jokes like that are not funny. Don't say them again at your house. Perfect. Done. Noted. Noted. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there's jokes that, you know, offend my kids, and they don't know that their jokes are being, you know, offensive or whatever. So it's like, hey man, I had to address it. Hey man, you know, don't talk to my kids like they're condescending. You know, that you might think you're joking. You think it's a ha moment, but they don't see it that way. So unless you're joking, or unless you're being serious, then it's a different story. But stuff like that, if it hurts my kids or it hurts my wife, I'm going to address it.
Yeah, no, exactly. You know, and that's why I said in the group chat, because I mean, again, in the profession I do, you know, obviously you can't put hands on as much as you wish you could to some people, to one literally knock some sense into them. So you have to talk a lot, right? You have to try to, vocalize the point that you're trying to get across. And just in my own experience, multiple times, sometimes talking doesn't really drive the point, where where you're just, I tell you, hey, this is, we're hurtful. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. Oh, okay, my bad. But they continue to make the same jokes.
Yeah.
Again and again. It's like, that's why I'm saying, like, I've seen it where, like, oh, violence is never the answer, and I do get that, and I do understand that, but there has to be a time where you kind of gotta not overstep it, but look for different means to make your point known that stop, this is hurting me, or this is hurting this person. Now it's not even funny anymore. Now you're just being a fucking bully, and now something has to be done. You're not getting it. Talking, I've told you multiple times. I'm not saying I'm gonna put you on the ground, but now if I got like just like when you're training a little puppy, you got to kind of how Cesar Millan does a little tap to get their attention back.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this person's serious. Sometimes it's the same thing. You give them a little tap to kind of wake them up, and now there's a memory being locked. Like, oh, hey, this person being serious. But it's to that point. You don't go straight to it. Obviously, you don't go straight to the slap, to the point, to the push, to the tap, whatever. You address it first. You vocalize it. But if it still continues to come, I mean, obviously each person is different. Some may disagree with me. It's just in my own experience from school to what I do now in the streets. Sometimes just saying what the issue is, the person on the other side of it, depending on that person, may not give two shits what you're saying. And be like, okay, well, that's not what I mean anyway. So it's your fault that you took it that way.
Yeah.
It's your fault that, you're hurting by what I'm saying. I'm making a joke. I'm being playful. It's your fault that, you're being so insecure about this.
Honestly, like that event that happened a little over a year ago where I had to take you with me.
Mm-hmm.
I took you with me to pretty much stop me if my anger took over, because I've tried speaking to that individual multiple times. And the last time we spoke, it ended up being like, okay, let's go for a fight then. Let's do this. So that's why I took you that day, because I knew, like I said, Ricky's here to stop me, because this table is not going to stop me from beating your ass. Like, he's here to keep me cool, because we've tried talking before. Didn't go nowhere. So Will's case, honestly, dude, I would have given one. Chris can see them from where they were sitting to where he was at. Yeah. If I was Will, I would have done this like cut it thing motion. Like, that wasn't funny, dude. But he took it straight to violence. Yeah,
he went straight 0 to 100. That's why, like, I'm like in a conundrum with that, right? I'm like, do I agree with it? Do I disagree with it? Like, it's public. It's on public. Obviously, you're getting that public perception. But your point is coming across. Just keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. I get it. Do I necessarily agree with it? The way he handled it, it's tough, because at the end of the day, even with all the bullshit aside, right? All the bullshits in the past of the scandals and all that, and all that, that's your wife.
Yeah,
the person that you're supposed to, besides your kids, care for the most.
But here's my question: why did he get upset after the fact that he was laughing at the G.I. Jane joke? He was laughing. Yeah,
so, I mean, my theory was one of two things. Like the internet theory, so I'll get that out the way. That maybe he did look at Jada and she's like, hey, I'm not cool with that. Or us being guys, not really understanding the joke right away. So we laugh about it. Because there's some stuff where, hey, we're at an event, I laugh at something. I'm not really understanding the joke per se, until it kind of hits me like, wait. Because it took me a while to understand, even myself, like G.I. Jane. What was G.I. Jane?
Oh, I got the joke instantly right away.
No,
I know the movie.
It took me a little bit to like, wait, so again? I mean, I don't know Will's hit past, obviously. So maybe for him, he just laughed about like, oh, this is a laughing moment. He laughs with the crowd, ha ha ha, and then, oh wait, that's insensitive. That's towards a condition.
Yeah.
One of the two things. I don't know, but those two are my theories.
So I have, like I said, I try to put myself in Will Smith's shoes, right? You go back to the scandal thing where they're in an open relationship, but from one broken man to another, because at one point I was broken down, heartbroken. That image of Will, that was a man with a broken fucking heart.
Oh yeah,
that was broken heart. How are you in an open relationship, an understanding open relationship, but look that broken? So I truly do not believe that they're in an open relationship. But that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is that I try to put myself in Will Smith's shoes. And I think the joke is funny. And I look over at my wife and she has this look like, motherfucker, are you really laughing? To me, it's like, oh shit, right? And I take out my frustration and my anger on someone else. Because let's say that Will ended up he went and hit Chris in the face. Let's go back in the past. A woman can really make, let's go back to my past. A woman can really, I had to stop for a second. The ice cream truck went by kind of loud. A woman can really influence your actions. You know, I just recently found out, you know, that I'm still being penalized from my family for something I did 18 years ago. For an empty threat that I did when I was a fucking kid, when I was stupid and immature and trying to impress a girl, or, you know, with the relationship that I was in, and pretty much, you know, evil influence is evil and good influence is good, right? It's what they say, you are who you hang out with, right? So, you know, I allowed, you know, a lot of anger and frustrations and because I'm not going to lie, I mean, I ended up hitting my mom, you know, and sometimes I think about it. Was it because she wouldn't let me take my car, or was it because of the way this or that? And then you really break things down. Why did I really hit her? Why did I hit her? It has nothing to do with the car. It has nothing to do with the color of the sky, the color of the moon, or the color of this couch. It had to do with the fact of years and years of just mistreating me, fucking just being you know, not being there for me, feeling like she doesn't love me and stuff like that. And then when I have, you know, the mother of my kids kind of like, they're kind of like cheering me on, like, yeah, do it. Kind of like fucking execute order 66. Do it now. You know, you do stupid shit. You make empty threats, and I am being penalized. I'm being penalized. My brother got on the phone. I was talking to my mom, you know, on Friday, trying to squash shit, trying to get over all this bullshit. We're all dropping like flies, you know. My brother died. A few months later, my grandmother died. You know, I have diverticulitis. You don't never know when I can go down. You just never know. And I'm trying to squash things because I have this conscience, you know. And I even called my wife and I told her, I hate you. She's like, why? Because you make me a better person. Because I did. I'm like, what the hell, man? I'm like, why? I saw her number and I'm just like, let me just call her. Hey, letting you know that, you know, grandma's buried in her spot in Oxnard, and I'm working on the photos. It's just a lot of shit's happened. I've been back and forth to the hospital, and I'm waiting for some photos to come back from Texas. So I haven't had a chance. And then just that conversation with her kind of led to a longer conversation of us letting shit go. So one of my little brothers got on the phone because I'm talking about the problem with this family is that we don't know how to communicate with one another. And so I'm talking about communication. So this little one gets on the phone and he's like, you know, hey, well, you know what? And he starts to kind of throw in his 2 cents. And I'm like, whoa. Check this out. I haven't spoken to you in years. Every time I come by and visit, or when I would come and visit, you would just go hide in your room. You wouldn't even say hi to me. So for you to say that we need to have more communication, sorry, bro, I'm going to pick on you next. Where's your communication? Because you don't come out, you don't say shit. What's the problem? Well, it's because you called CPS on us. I'm like, that's why you hate me? That's why you don't talk to me? Because I called CPS on you? But you know what, man? I'm sorry somebody told you that. Yes, I said it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that someone put that in your head. And until you remove all that hatred and evil out of your heart, we'll talk again. Get off the phone. Like that, bro. I told him, get the hell off the phone. You have so much hatred in your heart right now. Get off the phone. And he got off the phone. So, again, I'm being penalized for something that I did 18 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, they're still holding on to this grudge for me making an empty threat about calling CPS on my mother, or because I did lay hands on her. I'm like, young and stupid. I'm being penalized for something. My siblings were turned against me for something that I did when I was young and stupid. But ignore the fact that a couple years ago, I put all the bullshit to the side. And for the first time in 10, 12, 13 years, I called you to say Happy Mother's Day. And I meant it.
Yeah.
But okay, we want to hold on to the grudge. But again, so you see red. Will Smith looks at Jada. He has red, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could it have been about the joke? No. Could the way she looked at Will maybe triggered something? Because we go back to triggers. Everything we do is fucking triggers, based on triggers. You could be wearing this fucking sweater, and for some reason I can think of something someone did to me, and I fucking hate you for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trigger.
Yeah.
It's not your fault you're wearing this sweater. You know what I mean?
I chose it. It's a nice sweater.
Well, you chose it, but it can be, fuck you, dude. Will Smith turned, saw her, and it could have been the way that she looked at him that could have triggered maybe a memory. It could have triggered maybe what they've been doing. Something triggered him for Will Smith to get up.
I even like the one that someone posted where something similar to what you're saying. They were saying that it was pretty much what you're saying, that it was a look that Jada gave him, and it could have been like Will, because of the whole masculinity thing being taken away of the openness, being like, and this is why I cheated on you. You don't stand up for me.
Okay, I'm telling you, it could have been some kind of a trigger.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why Will went from laughing to getting up and slapping someone else in front of millions of people.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't watching it, but dude, I got the next morning. It's all you see on freaking Facebook. Taking a shit. Will Smith.
Coincidentally, I was at work when I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like, it's crazy. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I really thought about it. I'm like, you know what? This will make a good podcast episode because it reminds me of what I've gone through. Pretty much just what happened on Friday with the conversation with my mom and my siblings to now what Will Smith did. I was like, wait a minute. Like I said, you kind of got to kind of see it from both ends.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Women can really influence you to do good or to do bad.
Yeah.
So you have an ex who would who fucking cheer you on for going and punching someone in the face, or you have a wife who fucking brings out the good in you. So you're surrounded by evil. You do evil things. You are how you.
Yeah.
And again, we go back to something for an empty threat that I made about calling CPS. That empty threat 18 years ago has been fucking kicking me in the ass because it's turned my siblings against me. It's turned just more every time CPS got called on her. Dude, freaking, it's Andy's fault. It's Andy's fault. I bumped into a lady once, and she was like, oh, I just called CPS on your mom. And this is like maybe right before we moved out here. I'm like, fucking great. Thank you. And she said, why? Because you just pretty much gave her more shit on me. Like, pretty much, I'm going to get blamed for this shit.
Yeah.
I'm getting blamed for that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, dude, I got blamed for every time CPS got called to her house.
Yeah.
So again, a woman can influence you, and good or bad. It just depends on the kind of person you are. It depends on the kind of person that they are.
And I guess that kind of goes back to this quote that I've never really been a big fan of. And, I've been through my hardships and stuff like that, and I'm sure some, worse than others. But I've always hated this quote where they were like, I can forgive you, but I won't forget. I absolutely hate that, because it's like those two do not go hand in hand, in my opinion, because the word is empty, saying I forgive you. If you're saying, you know what, I forgive you, but I can't forget about it. Therefore, you're not going to let it go. Therefore, you're still going to hold it over that person's head. And I understand the hurt that it may have caused and everything, but that's why with these words, you don't, if you're trying to squash things, just say, let's work on it or something.
Yeah.
Don't just say I forgive you, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to let it go. Because those, again, don't go hand in hand, in my opinion.
About a month ago, we walked out of Mass because the message was forgive, right? Forgive and forget. So the wife and I are driving to go have breakfast, and the first thing it comes to mind was like, she's like, well, she sees me thinking. She can see when the wheels are turning, right? That's what she says. The wheels are turning. What are you doing? What are you buying? What do you,
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, it's hard. It's hard to forgive and forget when we forgive the same two individuals, and it's always the same two individuals that keep fucking driving us crazy. It's the same two individuals that just fucking won't let things go, or the same two individuals that for some reason fucking just hate the shit out of me, dude. Like the same individuals that attack you and you've done nothing to them.
Because that's exactly what happens, and that point is what you're making. It's, for instance, if you keep, in my opinion, either you're doing me wrong, you're pissing me off, you know, we just always butt heads. I may forgive you for some actions, but now guess what? Like anything else, my tolerance of Andy, a flat tire Andy, is gonna go anytime. Like you said, it doesn't. I thought about the stain in the carpet. Anything you do that just, you know, I could find a reason to fucking just say, Jesus, this is what I'm talking about with this guy. Fucking hell, this guy's a piece of shit. This is what I'm talking about. What, he opened the window. Yeah, but it's cold outside. You know, it's like completely unreasonable.
Yeah, exactly.
But because my patience for flat tire Andy is so low, it's like you're in a lose-lose regardless, and I'm not allowing you to. If I want you to be in my life, I'm not really giving you that opportunity because I'm looking for those moments to just be like, hey, did you see what Andy said earlier?
Yeah.
That was fucked up, right? Because I'm looking for those things. Even though I told you, hey, yeah, I understand, you know, whatever beef we had, we squashed it. But that's why I say, if you don't forget it and you keep looking for other little bullshit to add onto it, it's just an empty forgiveness. You're not putting nothing to it.
And that's why I was on the phone with my sister and just like Andy, and I'm like I'm sick and tired of my fucking name. I want to legally change my fucking name because I'm sick and tired that anything that happens, God himself can come down and say, it wasn't Andy. Andy didn't call CPS on you. Andy didn't slash your tires. Andy didn't do this. Andy didn't do that. Guess what? I'm still getting the blame for it. Like you said, Andy opened the fucking window and it happens to be cold outside. Fucking Andy.
Yeah, and he knows that I always get
It's
cold.
funny because years ago I would make a joke. I think one time we had an earthquake. I'm up, shit, that was me. Fucking we had something and started raining. Up, shit, that was me. Oh, that was me. You know what I mean? Because that's how it, to the extreme it's gotten. You know what I mean? And like to me, it's like I ended the conversation that day with her. I'm like, look, I'm about to go have dinner with my family, but I'm gonna be able to sleep tonight, knowing that I tried to fix this problem, knowing that I tried to squash this beef between what happened with my sister and us, you, right, that the day that our grandmother passed away, all the yelling and all the chaos and all the bullshit that happened. I'm trying to let go of the bullshit, put my pride to the side, and have this conversation. It didn't get anywhere. We'll try it again. My number is available. It's never blocked. You can call me whenever you want so we can try this again. But at the moment, I got to go. Dinner served. My family needs me.
Yeah.
And I got a thank you out of her, which was, I guess it's a start.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but because we're not letting go of the past, you know, when you want to give someone an apology, when you want to apologize to somebody, you have to give it to them seriously. Like you have to really say, I'm sorry. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, Will Smith and Will Smith putting it on social media, bro. No, you're doing it on social media, man. Like, have you physically pulled Chris to the side and say, hey, man, I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Like, Chris, by Will saying, Chris, hey, I'm sorry, Chris shouldn't be like, well, you know, Will shouldn't be expecting a I'm sorry from Chris.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Chris should be like, Will should be like, I'm sorry, my bad. And not be like, okay, well, are you going to apologize too?
No, yeah. I mean, I think in those, just because, I mean, my brother-in-law's pretty, you know, in on the, because he's a cinematographer and shit like that. That's just like a media thing, right? So, for instance, if you and I were Will and Chris Rock, you know, I don't know, obviously, how they did it, but if I slapped you and we're public figures, you know, most times we, regardless of the fact, whether I call you first, I call you afterwards, a Twitter response is always going to go out. Why? Because millions of people are there and they're all part of it, right?
Yeah.
And so they want to know. They're not going to know that, hey, you know what? Well, Ricky already called, you know, Andy. like, oh, well, he didn't issue a public one though, because again, all this is public perception. They're in the public eye.
In that case,
You know?
yes. In that case,
So,
yes.
like I said, but do we know that he did that? Obviously, we don't. It's their
Yeah.
own personal thing.
Yeah.
But I do know, based, because like I said, from my brother-in-law, that is a lot of times what happens. Either sometimes they'll call first and then issue the public statement online, or they'll do the public statement online and then call afterwards.
Right.
You know? But who knows?
Yeah. Then I had a second topic with the whole Will Smith thing. Obviously the first one is the trigger, that Will saw a trigger. You know, there's got to be a reason why Will get up and just, you know, slap Chris. You know, I believe that it has to do with the infidelity and all that bullshit. I feel that that's what caused Will to get up and slap.
That, yeah, I mean, I saw the same one. Are you thinking of the one that they said where, like, because of the masculinity and everything that she took, in a way of slapping Chris Rock, that was his way of retaining it back?
Yeah, because I was told that when they cheated on me too. It's like, well, you know, I heard she would go and tell her friend, well, Andy's not happy. He doesn't love me as much. And like, even her friend is like, well, you fucking cheated on him multiple times. How happy do you want him to be?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, when you cheat on me with an underage kid, to me it's like you took my manhood away.
Yeah.
So like I said, if that's the case, we're not in their shoes. But if that's, I truly believe that Will, when he looked at her, there was some kind of trigger, something for him to get up and slap him in the face.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's it, and that's when it kind of just shows that even though they had that conversation of the whole on Jada's open platform thing, there's still something obviously there's still a hitch in that chain. You know, there's a chink in that chain, because obviously things are not running smoothly. You know, because even though, you know, I like to know that, hey, I'd probably do the same thing as Will Smith, I know, especially in that setting, I'm probably afterwards, because I know I'm gonna see Chris Rock later, like, hey, dude, you know, you did a great job hosting the Grammys, or I'm sorry, hosting the Oscars, but you know, this is the issue that we had, you know, so I didn't want it to I just don't want it to go past this room. I just want to address it, you know, move on. But like you said, because there's potential pain from a past thing or current thing going on between, like you said, that made Will Smith feel like he had to go up and do that, whether it was personal, whether it is for straight honor of his wife. I don't know. We can only speculate and come up with these theories, but like you said, because it's all going to be from our own perception.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the one thing I hate. There's a reason why I became a cop. I hate bullies.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. You know, I did not allow myself to be bullied. People try to bully me, but I stood my ground. You know, I was always very firm about that. I always try to be friends with, you know, the people that were being bullied on, so they knew, hey, you know, you're not alone on this. You know, so that's why I kind of made, when I made my message to the family chat, it was about that pretty much. Like, to me, I saw that as, hey, he's kind of picking on, you know, the sick kid.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. And someone that is a loved one, whether that be a father, a husband, whomever, goes up there and protects that person's honor. That's kind of how I saw it. Was, hey, this person here, because they're sick of a condition going on or having a condition, they need someone to stand up for them. Now, does that always mean, you know, getting slapped or punched? No, of course not. Because, you know, yeah, violence is not the answer. Unless you know that person and you know that, hey, a conversation is not gonna make that person truly understand.
Yeah.
But you have to know that person and know that, hey, I've had conversations with this person before. They don't get it. They don't understand. When you talk to them, they're like, yeah, but I was just joking, and laugh it off and walk away. Then no, the message is not sent. You don't retain the message then, because you're a quote unquote comedian. Oh, it's all just for fun and games.
It's a trip. Me growing up in school, when I did go to in the 7th and 8th grade. In the 8th grade, I think is where I saw it the most. But when you're a kid, you don't really see it as bullying. But now you see it as it is bullying, and it does affect you in a way. Me, for example, let's go with haircuts. Haircuts. The moment I feel my hair is a little long on the back over here, it's time for a haircut. Or when the hair is going over the ear, it's time for a haircut.
Oh yeah.
And I take the boys with me, and they don't like it. They're like, Dad, my hair's not long enough yet, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I'm sorry. When you're old enough to pay for your own haircut, you will go and get your own haircut. But at the moment, under my roof, you're getting a haircut. Why? Why do I make it? It's a must. Because when I was in school, that's all I ever got picked on about was my hair. They never I never went and got haircuts. They never took me to get haircuts. I can't say I because I was a kid. They never took me to get haircuts. So whenever I got a haircut, it's because a family friend knew how to cut hair, or a family friend knew how to use clippers.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only way I got haircuts. And I remember I would get called every freaking name in the book. Afro this, fucking Harry Bush that, and stuff like that.
Were they talking about your head?
Yeah. My eighth grade yearbook, bro, there was a image of this guy with an afro, and one of my so-called friends went and put my name on it. Like, that's you, right?
Funny.
So I don't think I took it as bullying back then because you're a kid. But now that I see the effect it has done on me, it's like, to me, the moment I turned 18, bro, I took responsibility for my own haircuts. The one lady cut my hair. The same lady cut my hair for 17 years, bro, up until we moved out here. And even when we moved out here, we drove out to Oxnard for her to cut my hair. Yeah. But then it got a little too expensive to drive.
Can you imagine now?
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing that now still?
Yeah.
Even with your little, with your good, MPG car.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So, but
$9 a gallon.
That's the effects that you take. You know what I mean? Like, they're just making fun of my hair, and now it's like I have to make sure that no one picks on my hair.
Yeah,
and I have to make sure my kids don't get picked on their hair.
There's always levels, obviously. There's levels to being picked on and stuff like that. Some obviously more severe than others. So like, I don't know, man. Like, I wouldn't say this was like one, but I was, even at young age, I was always very like insecure of like my clothes because I went to like a wealthier elementary, middle school, and high school. That's why I was so, and I was literally just telling my cousin this last week. Like, I was so happy to go to private school, not for education and religious reasons. It was because, guess what? There's a uniform. I don't have to worry
Everybody
about
wears
everyone wearing the same thing.
Bullshit, yeah.
Everyone has to wear the same similar type shoes. Everyone's wearing the same thing. And with someone, where my parents, they made good money, but it went all towards our school. It wasn't to buy extracurricular stuff and nice clothes and all this stuff. No, it was all that went to just trying to ensure that we had a good education. So I didn't have those nice things. So when we went to parties, I was very insecure going. So I would usually like go in like my basketball stuff when everyone there is in like nice jeans and a button-up shirt and stuff like that. Young kids, so I became insecure, and that's why I think now I have to have nice clothes because. And that's why I was even talking to my cousin about it. I'm like, I think that's maybe the reason why I like the police work, because I'm just used to uniforms. Yeah. There's like a security blanket with those uniforms that, we're unison. There's not a lot of thought that's to going, damn, what am I going to wear tomorrow? Yeah. No, it's just, what am I going to wear underneath my uniform? That's it. Am I going to wear a long shirt or a short shirt?
It's funny because this past weekend, obviously, we didn't have the boys. They went to go with their mom, and we went to the store. The wife's like, I have this return. We gotta take it back to Kohl's because she bought it at Amazon, but Amazon takes returns. Kohl's takes Amazon returns. And when we were there, she was like, well, she started shopping. She was get whatever you want. So I got some shorts, but she was looking for sweaters. I'm like, babe, it's gonna hit summer. Why are you buying sweaters? And she had told me that Julian, my youngest, at school, he has multiple sweaters, dude. Mm-hmm. But he likes to wear the same one. I think the same two over and over. One of them's got Iron Man or whatever, and the other one's got like the Avengers on it. So a little boy came up to him and asked him, how come he wears the same sweater all the time? Does he not have any more sweaters? My first reaction was like, who is he? So I can go fuck him up. So I can Will Smith his ass, And that's why she was buying the sweaters. And I'm like, it sucks that we have to go spend money on sweaters to protect our children from other kids making stupid comments like that. Yeah. He came over today and told us that his day was good, but then it was blah because he was drinking water. and some kid pushed his face into the fountain, so he hit his lip. I'm like, I'm gonna go fuck him up, man. I'm gonna go fuck him up. But it's crazy nowadays with the bullying. Like I said, I got bullied on my shoes. I got bullied on my clothes. I got bullied on my hair. I got bullied on everything. It's like, to me, I laughed it off with them, but in reality, it's like, it's the effects that it made, dude. That's like, the clothes that you wear now as an adult is because of how you were as a child. Or it was funny because I went to go get my hair cut, and the lady and I started talking about something financial, right? And money wise or whatever. And I said something about, well, no, I got to pay him back. Like, example, my mother-in-law, I owe her money for helping me get custody of the kids. And I'm glad to say that come July, I make the last payment. And I'm like, no, I got to do it. She goes, you can come whenever you can, blah, blah. I don't like owing people money. I don't. And she's like, it's not, why? I'm like, because, my mom always borrowed money from people and we never give it back to them.
Yeah.
So she's like, it's funny that we live our lives based on what we grew up witnessing.
Yeah, of course.
And we like, it's that's the circle, like the circle. You want to be over here on this side of the circle, spinning this way instead of this way.
But then you're in the middle, though.
But then, what? I guess
to an extent,
kind of. But yeah, dude, I don't like to owe people money, and like I said, the whole bullying shit is a lot of reason why I try to like protect my kids as much as possible. That's something that I'm telling you. I went and saw Nick's first track meet, and I'm looking at all these kids fucking wearing nice shoes, like and Nick has these beat down Nikes and shit, which are for running too, but based on what I'm looking, his look beat down. And I told my wife the next morning, hey, after this weekend we're gonna go get Nick's shoes, and she's like, well, he has running shoes. I'm like, no. He has Honda Civic shoes. I need to get him the Tesla shoes. I want to get him the high class Tesla shoes.
Yeah.
So I spent like $80 on fucking shoes. We went to Dick's Sporting Goods and the Big Five, and I pretty much walked in. I feel generous today. Get whatever you guys want, and I walked out with a $400 bill, dude.
Holy shit, you were generous. God damn.
Yeah. Letty got a chair for the bleachers when we go watch the kids' baseball game or Nick's track meet. Jojo got a sweater.
Again.
Jojo got a sweater.
It's hang in the closet.
Nick got his
not gonna wear it.
Nick got his $80 shoes, and then Letty got the wife got those roll things that you lay on like on the back to kind of like
like a foam roller,
stretch your back or whatever, crack your back or whatever. And I'm like, all right, babe, it's your turn. What's next door? The 99-cent store. I'm all right. I'm gonna get
scored
gummy bears and soda.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, well, because we were gonna go, we had planned to visit to Oxnard that weekend, and we canceled the visit, the drive. It was a wedding. We canceled the wedding for personal reasons, and my buddy understood. So I told her, okay, well, I was gonna rent a car. Because I'm not putting unwanted miles on my car, on the new one. So I was gonna rent a car and
to go to Oxnard.
Yeah.
Man.
Yes, sir.
What's wrong with your car? Like not the new the
CRV. The CRV just hit 300,000, bro.
What's another 80 miles?
It's another 160. No, plus eating out their lunch and breakfast, whatever the case would be. So it's like pretty much when we went to the Sporting Goods, I said I'm feeling generous because technically the money that I was gonna spend to rent a car now went to what do you guys want? I already had that in the back of my head that I was going to spend $400 on this weekend, this Saturday.
Got it.
So, okay, well, let's spend it anyway. Let's spend it on shit that we need.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually a good mindset.
So
it's good.
I guess I got little basketball shorts to go over my padded chonies when I go on the bike rides and shit.
Or when we play basketball here at the house.
Or when we play basketball here at the house.
Yeah,
but
I guess now the hard part with that, right, is like, because I mean, like the world ain't sunshine and rainbows.
Nope.
People are not nice.
Nope.
I don't care where you go. I mean, I don't care who you are either. You're going to come against conflict. So that's why, like, for instance, one of our brother-in-laws wasn't too happy that their kid was in karate because he believed that the sensei was too rough on the, because he's he's small. He's like 4 years old. And so he was like, the sensei's too tough. He like, he kind of like body checks him a little bit and stuff like that. And so he was like, I don't like it. He's too young for that. But me, obviously being in the streets and just growing up doing sports and knowing, like many people, how the real world is, I'm like, dude, that's such a great fucking lesson though, dude. Like, you don't understand, one, the discipline he's getting and the real world practicality of what he's going through. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. The world is going to fucking check him.
Yeah.
No matter what, he can be fucking perfect. The world is going to fucking check him because the world is not perfect.
I have the boys. They were in karate too, and they found like this flyer for like 6 free lessons or something.
Oh yeah,
like
Jojo was telling me
9 free lessons.
Yeah,
Jojo
like was telling me.
Dude, just watching the videos of them playing with the nunchucks or whatever you call them, and then you going there, hey yeah, all that little sound effect. I still have the video somewhere, dude. Dude, I was like, my baby's so little. To they did that, but to now it's like now, Jojo. I don't take it as disrespectful, but when I say something funny or something, well, not funny, but when I say something that gets under his skin, like he'll come up to me, he'll grab my shirt and he'll tug on it. And he's like, you know what, little man? And I'm like, I let it slide.
Yeah.
Why? I let it slide because 1, I'm his dad. 2, he knows the difference between we're joking, we're not joking. So, and I let it slide because if someone is disrespecting him, I want him to do the same exact thing that he does to me.
Yeah.
If he feels disrespected in public, now could he have turned around and slapped that kid in the face for pushing him in the fountain today? Yeah, but he didn't. Mm-hmm. He was a bigger person. Mm-hmm. But there's also a breaking point. That's another thing that I guess Will Smith's mom said about him. That a breaking point. Yes, bro. We all have a breaking point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We all do it. I used to be this, believe it or not, this hopeless fucking romantic. Fucking Britney Spears, fucking Backstreet Boys, Insane. Those were my jams, bro.
Holding the fucking radio over your head.
Fuck
to the window.
Yeah, bro. No, I didn't do all that. But it sucks because my wife doesn't get that hopeless romantic. And she got the shit in the stick, but she still loves me, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, baby.
God bless her soul.
Right? I'm sorry, baby. You didn't marry fucking Prince Charming. You got the ogre. You got
you got Shrek.
And that's who I used to be, this hopeless romantic dude. And then, you take one infidelity. Infidelity is cheating, right?
Yeah. After
you
another.
Take 2. You take 3. And then you fucking clothesline a bitch. And you end up in jail.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And everyone has a fucking breaking point.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%.
If Will Smith, if that was his breaking point, then more power to him. But just, you did it in front of everybody. You did it in front of people.
Bad timing. Poor timing.
Yeah, you did it in front of people. Like I told my wife, I'm like, I look up to that guy. Mm-hmm. I've been watching his movies. I've been watching him fucking. We technically grew up together. I'm watching him from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to fucking Independence Day to fucking Pursuit of Happiness to this.
Everything.
You know what I mean? It's like you're technically growing up with this individual. You're growing up to, it's like.
I even had his album.
Did you?
Yeah.
I still have some of his songs. Getting Jiggy with it. Men in Black. And you do this shit in front of people that look up to you.
Yeah.
You're disgusted. I'm disgusted. I was like, oh, what the fuck, dude? But wrong timing, but everyone does have a breaking point. Like I said, I put up so much abuse, mentally, verbal abuse, from my mom that she takes it as talking shit, but it's not talking shit. It's the facts. That was just brought up to me again on Friday that I'm talking shit. No, I get all this verbal, and that's why I said that. I would have rather get beat the shit than the things that were said to me. Because the things that are said to you fucking hurt more.
Yeah,
than a fucking beat down.
They penetrate more.
So that's what I'm saying. If I laid hands on my mom that afternoon, it's the breaking point. It's the fucking breaking point of 20 years of fucking abuse, and then you just fucking let it go. Again, you go back to the infidelities. Okay, it's okay. We'll work it out. You're burying up my heart. Whatever, however the fucking song goes, And then again and again and again.
Yeah, no,
Until I'm done. And I think and then even after I went to jail, I'm still there. And then the last time, instead of fighting, bro, my bags were just packed.
Yeah.
She walks in, she sees my bags. All of a sudden, we need counseling. No, I'm done.
That's it.
I'm done. So, you know, I get told by her, you're such an asshole. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You made me stronger. I give you that. I thank her. I thank her multiple times. Like I've told her thank you. Like, thank you. You've made me not to take crap from anybody. I don't take crap from people at work. I don't take crap from accounts. I don't take crap from fucking dirty cops sitting on my couch. I don't take shit from no one.
You take shit from me.
No.
I'm the only one that's allowed to do that.
You got your gun on you? The only one that scares me is
in the
Betty,
car.
bro, because she fucking packs. She's
Yeah,
packing.
she does. I always have mine. But it's always in my car, man.
We went on a bike ride. Hey, dude, don't worry, Rick. I'm in good hands. It's not even the other way around. No, I'm in good hands.
I know too, because I'm like, shit, she's a good shot. I'm not worried about her. She's always packing. That's why I'm never worried about her.
So
she's always handles business when needed, you know.
yeah, man.
no,
So
but
again, I mean, I wish that I can take back a lot of the shit that I did when I was young and stupid. But should I still be penalized almost hitting 40 for shit that I did fucking 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Young and stupid, dude. Everyone at one point is young and stupid.
Like there's some things, right? Like I saw this one thing too where they're like, same thing, right? Like, oh, I wish I could take some of the stuff back when I was young and stupid. And also, I'm not talking about the extremes, like fucking stabbing someone or, you know, killing. Not like that. Like I'm talking like because what I'm about to say is a little different. There was other guy that was like, you know, they're like, I don't think I would change even this young and dumb stupid shit because it made you who you are, and not only that, it opened your eyes to the people around you and who you were with, and maybe the toxic people that you were hiding yourself from. So that's why, like, this person was like, I don't necessarily regret the things that I did, you know, and even though, yeah, I may have hurt myself, or maybe I hurt my others, like, emotionally, or maybe even like a little physically, obviously not something that I put someone in a hospital, but, you know, maybe like emotionally, a little physically, you know, but because I learned from it. I learned from that, you know. Don't get me wrong. They're like, I do wish that I didn't have to go through that, but if that's what it took for me to grow as a person, you know, then I'm glad that I'm able to learn from that mistake. You know, it's just, yeah, obviously I'm very sorry that, you know, I've hurt people either emotionally or physically, but if I want to look at the positive in things, you know, then I'm grateful that I did actually learn what the mistake was and what the lesson was coming from that. And I think you've mentioned that before.
Yeah,
too.
I would understand if I was still being that immature individual.
Mm-hmm.
If I was still doing that and I'm still almost 40 and still saying, I'm going to call CPS on you for this. If I was still that individual, okay, hold on to something from 18 years ago because I'm still fucking doing it.
Yeah.
But the fact that I've multiple times tried to apologize with my actions, not physically me saying the word I'm sorry or the phrase I'm sorry, but with my actions, you know, picking up my siblings, taking them to the park, playing with them, swinging by my mom's house, bringing my kids over, going over there for Christmas one year. You know, you don't always have to physically, like, that's what I tell the kids when they're acting up. I'm sorry. No, I'm tired of that word. I'm sick and tired of that word. Instead of telling me you're sorry, show me you're sorry. So when I show that I'm just because you didn't hear me say I'm sorry, doesn't mean I'm not sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I've shown you I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a better son. You know, I've changed my ways. And if I wasn't sorry, then, you know, hey, fuck, you know, I'm not bringing my kids around you, or I'm not doing this, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I tell people I'm sorry by my actions.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
And if that's not good enough, I'm sorry, but a simple I'm sorry doesn't cut it.
No, it doesn't. Which I think is like the backwards way, because people, I think, actually do find, like, look, they would sometimes rather hear that, is what I've kind of come across. Some people just want to hear it because then they're like, oh, he's only acting this way because of this. But what you're saying holds a lot more water, because
But
your actions do speak louder than words. Otherwise, go back to the forget and forget. You're just saying it.
like I was trying to say,
Empty.
like when I don't really like to say something. No, I don't want to hear something when I know when I feel it's not being meant. Like, you know, let's say for example, right now I tell you that you need to put my freaking car down that you're touching. Leave it alone, bro. Leave it alone, and you put it down, right? You put it down. You're putting it down because I'm telling you to put it down. You're not putting it down because you want to put it down.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm trying to get at. So it's
Got
like,
it.
you know, if I try to say sorry to somebody, it like even with my wife's like, she knows I'm sorry because she knows I don't like throwing that word around. So if I do something stupid, I hurt her feelings, or I make a stupid comment, and the next morning it's like, all right, babe, well, you know, sorry I was acting a fool. Boom. She knows I mean it because because I don't really, you know, she's not what do you call it? She's not a person that should be spoken to in a disrespectful way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's done nothing wrong. And that's the one thing I said. It's like, people are so quick to attack my wife. She's done nothing to them. She's done nothing to them. So, again, I don't like to throw the word I'm sorry out there because it's not, like, I feel that just by saying it, I can tell you I'm sorry, Rick, but you can be like, does he really mean it? Now I'm giving you that, I'm opening that can of worms of, does he really mean it?
No, yeah, of
You know what I
course.
mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I rather do it by actions. I don't promise my kids anything because a promise is easy to break.
Mm-hmm.
Same idea with the sorries. I mean, I rather do them by my actions.
No,
And
yeah.
if that doesn't catch your attention, then I don't know what else to do, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you on that. You know, I guess kind of going back to the thing because you had me thinking about that one. I was like, it's the so sad truth about, you know, our world is that generous people, nice people, they just get taken advantage of, you know, and maybe it's not necessarily by the intention of the person doing it, because they just say like, oh, well, this person just likes to help, you know, but little do they know when it's consistent and it's an inconvenience a lot and they expect it and they know this person does not really like to say no. You know, like for instance, if I know you don't really like to say no, you know, because I know you feel like you're possibly letting me down, and if I'm willingly still trying to put you in situations that are a little bit inconvenient and overwhelming, I'm the one to be blamed, not because you can't say no per se. You know, obviously there is a sharing factor to it, but if I know that, you have to think about other people's, you know, day to day also. Doesn't matter if they may not have work today or whatever the case may be. People need a day off, you know, whether they're working or not. Like for instance, today, like I said, I worked 19 and a half hours last night. Got home at 3 in the morning. I got home at 3:30 in the morning. I worked 6 a.m. yesterday till 3:30 in the morning today. And, you know, my wife was like, hey, can you do X, Y, and Z? I actually told her no. I'm like, no. Not that I don't want to do it or like I want to disrespect you or just because you're telling me I don't want to do it. It's no, I need to recover. I need a rest. You know, I need R&R.
Yeah.
So that way I'm not going through the motions, and when you get back home, I'm now grumpy because guess what? When I'm doing the things you asked me to do, I'm going to be mad doing them because one, I'm exhausted, I'm sleep deprived, and I feel like I'm doing this only to please you. So now when you get home and I'm exhausted all day and I see your face, what do you think subconsciously I'm going to do? I'm probably going to put that to blame, and any little thing you leave the shoes on the floor. Oh my God, you're going to leave your fucking shoes right. Argument just because, you know, it's just for the morning of just like, oh, I put myself in this situation.
It has nothing to do with the shoes.
Nothing to do with the shoes.
Yeah.
I just needed something. Give me a little, I take it all.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's why I just tell her straight up. I'm like, no, I'm not doing anything today. The only thing I did was take those puppies to go get their shots. That's because all I had to do was just sit there.
Yeah.
And it's 10 minutes away from my house.
Yep.
I'm like, that's all I'm doing. And that's all I did.
Yeah.
Besides come here, but this is different. I want to do
We
this.
can't do this tomorrow, though.
I want to do this.
That's why I hit you up early in the morning, man. That's why I hit you up early in the morning. But, Rick, we hit the hour mark.
Freak, hell yeah.
Yeah, like I said, Will Smith made me think of a lot of shit. maybe go back 20 years. And like I said, we all have a breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I end every podcast, Rick, thank you for riding with me.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Indie Podcast. You can also listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean.